esteemed colleagues over here, the first question I'd like to ask is, if you're on the Titanic, who's going to die first? I hope it's not you, because at some point you have to decide, I guess, whose life's more worth it. Okay, there is going to be double population in the next 50 years. I haven't heard any other reason how you guys plan to deal with that. Our group can, and our ideas can solve that problem within reason. Another thing is to, what she said about placing it into the environment. Okay, crossbreeding goes on all the time in the environment. We just don't know about it yet. These things are already happening. We have a lot more control in knowing what our steps are in the environment at large. So in response to what you said, if we go at the pace that you're suggesting, it's going to take 100 years just to get an ear of corn. The technology's there, it's available to use. Not saying all the legalities and the regulations have been figured out yet, but we got to keep moving forward. And in this response, this also have some other people like that too.
They started out talking about Darwin and him rolling over in his grave. Evolution, it's happening all around. We're just speeding up the natural process in most cases. For example, look at the red wolf and the coyote in eastern North Carolina. The coyote has bred out the red wolf, and they're having to get rid of them. If it's not the fittest and it's not the strongest, it's not going to survive. So when these plants, if they do cross, how is that not related to what happens naturally already out in the environment? If a plant disappears just because it is not as able to survive and produce, we don't, oh, poor little plant, we killed it. Even though we may have by changing the environment. But no, let's not put genes in there to make them survive better, because that would be evil, according to you guys. You guys were talking about it being needing to be scientific and based on science. Well, I do believe that the scientists are the ones that develop the GM products. They monitor and test, as well as it being monitored by 3 different agencies in the government. Let's see what else. To my colleague down there who mentioned the rat study, I also looked at that exact same study that was proven invalid due to research methodology, because the rats were all different sizes when they started. They all also did not consume the same amounts. There were a lot of different things that when I was reading through, I was like, this is ridiculous. This looks like something my ag kids would turn into me. With your reference to the fin, how long was that tested before it was put on the market? They started GM stuff, 1970s? When they first started bringing in these ideas and started looking into it. This has been a long road. This is not something that they came up with in 2000 and now we've populated the whole world with it. It's been a long, long time coming. And I want to make one more point on the cattle and the BT toxin in corn, and it killed the cows. Well, cows aren't made to eat corn. They're foragers. Their bodies are made to consume roughage. They do not fare well on a pure corn diet. It is not made. They're not made to digest it. And I think that Jan has some more points.
Well, one point too, we've heard all week, and especially this morning, how much more GM foods are tested than just the regular food we eat. So we don't know which one, the other might be very toxic for us. We don't know. There's not being testing done on it. And there's a study that we have found just came out recently about the benefits of crops, of GM crops, that they produce healthier oils and foods. The potential to produce allergy-free foods are there, which you don't get in
Yeah, you don't have allergy-free foods in nature. Complaining about the allergens in GM foods is ridiculous, because we're not banning peanuts because people are allergic to them. Don't eat peanuts. We label it. Cookout has that little sign. Peanuts are used in this facility. Your food may become contaminated. Let's just label it.
And a really important point too is that it's able to create food with a lower carbon footprint, which is really important. protecting fruits and vegetables from disease.
And lowering pesticide.
They're out of time.
All right.
Okay, so we are out of time with your arguments, but so now we're gonna